28-year-old Abby Choi was a model, socialite, and internet celebrity in Hong Kong who was growing in popularity due to her fashion trends.
Unfortunately, her fame would be cut short by a heartless group of people she called family.
Hong Kong, February 2023. Even though Abby was a busy person, traveling often for fashion shows and modeling, she always made time for her children
And would drop them off and pick them up from school every day. 2 of her kids come from her first marriage, and the other 2 are from her current marriage. She met her first husband, Alex Kwong, when she was 15, and they got married at 18. A few years later, though, they got a divorce. Although Abby still remained close with Alex, even going out to eat often with him and her new husband. She also financially supported Alex and his family and helped relocate them after the divorce. In February 2023, Abby's driver suddenly resigned, and she had to find someone quickly so she could pick up her kids from school.
Her ex-husband Alex suggested his brother, Anthony Kwong, since he'd been a driver.
Anthony became her new chauffeur, and he would pick Abby up at her apartment in the most wealthy neighborhood around, Kadoorie Hill, so she could drop off and pick up her children daily. On February 21st, Anthony drives to Abby so that they could go pick up her and Alex's daughter. He got there, though. Abby was nowhere to be found.
A missing persons report was filed right away. And since she was famous and came from a wealthy family, all hands were on deck to find her. Police spoke with family members and also obtained CCTV from multiple locations. After that, the truth quickly started to be revealed.
One CCTV shows Anthony Kwong, the driver and former brother-in-law, pushing a large white box into a car. As they follow the footage, they find that Anthony and Abby's former father-in-law drove to a cemetery. They are unable to see what they do there, though.
Not only was this suspicious, but when questioned, the ex-husband and former in-laws all gave misleading and false statements.
Police got a warrant to enter a village house that the former father-in-law recently started renting at the beginning of February. The reason why he rented it out would become obvious once police entered inside.
Inside the ground-level flat was a tarp, a meat grinder, an electric saw, 2 types of choppers, a hammer, face shields, black raincoats, and a purple handbag that belonged to Abby, as well as 2 pots of soup containing human tissue.
They would also find Abby's severed legs in a refrigerator.
The ex-brother-in-law and parents-in-law were detained immediately, but Abby's ex-husband was nowhere to be found.
A big question they wanted answered was why they did it, but first they wanted to catch Alex.
Thankfully, just a day later, February 25th, police gained knowledge that Alex Kwong was at a pier, trying to board a speedboat departing Hong Kong.
Police quickly went and apprehended him. He was found with about $64,000 in cash, along with luxury watches worth over $500,000. On February 26th, while detectives interrogate the family, police searched the cemetery they saw Anthony and the father-in-law go to in the CCTV. There, they find a large soup pot with several human bones, including Abby's severed head that had been boiled down to the skull.
The fat and tissue from her head were floating around, along with carrots and radishes.
A 6.5 centimeter by 5.5 centimeter hole was found in the back of her skull, which they suspect to be the fatal blow. A forensic team also examined the 7-seater vehicle they used not only to pick up the children with, but also to drive to the cemetery, and found blood spatter matching the blow to the back of the skull. Investigating further into why the family killed her, detectives find out that Abby and Alex, along with his family members, were in a feud over a property worth millions of dollars that Abby had purchased under her father-in-law's name when they were married. Abby wanted to sell the property, but her ex-husband's family did not want her to and insisted that the property was theirs.
Even though Abby had been helping them financially and was always giving them any resources they needed,
her former father-in-law became outraged and threatened that he would kill her if she sold the property. Then, one day, the father-in-law rented out a village house not far from Abby. Since he apparently did not have the money to rent it out, he asked his secret mistress to help him.
Around the same time, Abby's driver resigned, and Anthony Kwong started working for her instead.
On February 23rd, Anthony picked her up as usual and started heading to pick up the kids. Along the way, though, he stopped, and Abby's jobless ex-husband Alex hopped into the back seat with her. They started to argue about the property, and when things got too heated, Alex hit Abby in the back of the head with a tool, knocking her unconscious. They then drove to the village house where the family worked together to dismember her body and get rid of evidence.
Alex Kwong was found to have already been a wanted man, having warrants out for his arrest due to theft and scamming in 2015. Not only that, the father-in-law was a police chief, but had to resign after he was accused of rape. He is believed to be the mastermind of the whole plot to kill Abby. Her ex-husband, Alex Kwong, his brother, Anthony Kwong, and their father, Kwong Kau, have already been charged with murder. The mother, Jenny Lee, has been charged with perverting the course of justice. 3 other people have also been arrested and are at trial, including the father-in-law's secret mistress and the boat worker who was given $300,000 from Alex to help him escape.
Friends and co-workers described Abby as a delightful, kind, and honest person who loved her family and work. Although she may have been seen by many as a rich influencer growing up in a wealthy family, she used her wealth and resources to start an animal welfare organization called Pyomi's Charitable Organization, and would help with charities and other events. How do you think the father-in-law was able to convince his family to murder the person that was supporting them financially and was the mother of Alex's children and their grandchildren? Do you think any of them regret killing her, or have any trauma from physically dismembering her body?